Hello everybody, it's Friday. How's everybody doing today? Everybody doing okay? Cheers, dears. I got my wee donkey here. So, if you're new to the channel, welcome. Hangers on. Thanks for hanging on. Consider subscribing if you like what you hear. So, for what I'm going to say today, I just hope y'all are sitting down, because you won't believe what the DOGE bags are doing with your personal information. A whistleblower came forward and told Congress exactly what Mussolini's little data molesters were and are up to. Before I get into that, there's one more thing I want to talk about, and that Trump has given active duty military the powers of the police. According to Stars and Stripes, it's a new military zone created where active duty U.S. troops have been granted authorization to arrest U.S. citizens, search U.S. citizens, detain U.S. citizens on U.S. soil, and detain them at that Texas Air Force base down there. They have room for 4,000, apparently. This is something the military is not allowed to do. It's not something they're supposed to do. Trump expanded that military base in Texas and extended a 60-foot-mile strip, 170 miles on federal lands, including right through, I can't believe how much they disrespect Indigenous people, right through the Roosevelt Reservation, as well as other reserves. It stretches through California, Arizona, and New Mexico. The reason for designating these lands as a U.S. military base is because it will no longer be just a misdemeanor to cross into and step foot on American land. You are now entering a military base and therefore trespassing. So, is this the start of martial law? It certainly looks like it to me. So now for the DOGE bags. These thieves, for entertainment purposes only, these folks are getting paid anywhere from $98,000 to $160,000 for the first phase of their annihilation of your information. So for about 100 days, but sure, tax cuts for the rich. Rachel Maddow had a really great report on this new fresh hell that Trump's dishing out, and had an interview with a lady named Julia ANGWUN. It's on YouTube. Go check it out. And by paying these high wages for these cutting mission hackers, the cost of doing business with these guys seems to have wiped out all the supposed savings that they were supposed to claim. According to Michigan Live, their reporter MADDOW, apparently they wasted more than they saved. They're like the mango moose knuckle. Everything they touched turned to shit. They canceled Ebola prevention, fired scientists working on bird flu, fired the experts handling nuclear weapons grade materials, had to find them all and hire them all back. So there was no savings there. Fired the experts in just about every department everywhere. The New York Times says Trump wants to merge government data. Sounds like a good thing, right? One-stop shopping, so to speak. But they are creating a master database to track immigrants. And you as well. It is a big brother type of thing, I'm thinking, that we were always afraid of. A surveillance state for Trump's administration. It has its tentacles reaching out into every area of government. The DOGE bags have, in my opinion, stolen personal data about U.S. citizens and residents from dozens of federal databases. And just to put it all into perspective, they put it into the master database. Where is that? The Department of Homeland Security. Scared yet? House Democrats said a whistleblower had come forward to say Homeland Security will have all of your data from the Social Security Administration, Internal Revenue Services, Department of Health and Human Services, and according to this hero whistleblower, the hackers have been seen filling up their backpacks with multiple laptops, all fully loaded with your information. They call it purloined agency data, depending on what agency that they're stealing from, in my opinion. So much for checks and balances that have been there forever to protect your data from being misused. There used to be security in place to prevent the government from creating dossiers on every U.S. resident. But the DOGE bags came in and they blew that system apart, and now they're building the perfect authoritarian government database. They will have comprehensive files on everyone so they can follow and punish protesters and so-called dissidents. Kevin Bankston, a civil liberties lawyer and senior advisor on AI governance at the Center for Democracy and Technology. He says it is a policy and civil rights organization that he belongs to, and he says that the infrastructure for turnkey totalitarianism is there for the administration willing to break the law. They picked the right administration, apparently. Julia ANGWUN is the founder of Proof News, and she says she's worried about the amount of extensive data about you, which we don't even think about anything when we send in our IRS tax returns, which show every cent you've spent and every cent you've earned and where you've earned it. Your file, when you file unemployment, that benefit, who you worked for, when did you work for them, how long did you work for them, how much did you get paid. Get social security checks, they got your number, and they're not afraid to use it. Medicaid, Medicare information, every time you hand in that card, they got everything on there, every procedure you had, who got what, when, medications, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, all on their new website. We willingly hand out our numbers, but we deal with separate agencies until now. The thing that authoritarians really like to do, she said, they want to say at the snap of a finger, I don't like that person. Let's find something on them. And now they can get it all in one place. So they don't need to go through 6, 7, or 8 agencies with all the security walls built into each and every one of them. No, they don't have to do that at all. They go to one place. Who else does this? Russia. Russia does that. China does that. North Korea does that. That's how they keep track of everybody. Trump has already said he would go after his enemies, and he is. He has a vast amount of loyal FBI and other federal law enforcement agencies that are only too willing to do his bidding, and they are. He has extorted almost $1 billion in pro bono work from some of the top law firms in the United States. He's cut billions from college and university funding for medical research and such. He has removed security clearances from any lawyer that will defend fired government workers or anybody that had anything to do with his lawsuits. SCOTUS needs to revoke his immunity and revoke it now because they created that fucking monster. It should be the Frankenstein friggin' Supreme Court. They were under the impression, and I'm being kind here, that after the lawsuits were over, this would all wash away and we wouldn't go any further with it. Well, that's not the end of it. But the one thing that Donald Trump didn't seem to get through his head, he forgets that Joe Biden as a president, is also immune from all those things that he could say was presidential immunity. And also, so was Barack Obama. Bill Clinton. Yeah, presidential duties, you betcha. They were all included in that ruling as well, every past president. So Rachel asked this Julia ANGWUN, is the U.S. privacy laws powerless against this? And could they be forced by law to dismantle it? Julia says, our privacy law is not really up to the task. We are one of the only nations that doesn't have a comprehensive privacy law that protects. They basically set up a minimum baseline on all data usage. Every other country has one, including Canada, and has a data protection authority, which also has an agency assigned to protect that data. In the States, the Federal Privacy Act was passed in 1974. You know, when there was so much technology, right? I remember being in high school and using key punch cards. So you had a stack of like 4,000 cards for one little account in our bookkeeping class. So yeah, 1974 hasn't been changed since. Everyone just expected that the folks working there would behave with good faith and be good faith actors. You would see human error once in a while, of course, but you could always go back and get it fixed. But not with this shit. Even the penalties are minimum for breaches. Go figure. With this administration, they will all have a get out of jail free card. It doesn't matter what they do or how serious it is, they will get a get out of jail free card and be pardoned. This is just one more thing on a long list of things. And it's only been, 103 days? Trump's mission was like every other authoritarian. Spread that misinformation, get the press like NPR, PBS, get rid of them, cut their funding, get rid of all the mainstream news media that prints anything negative about dear leader, cozy up to dictators, keep the population poor, and tell them that they have to suffer for their country. And they should be very damn well proud to do it for their dark lord and destroyer of joy. Personally, I have installed a thing called Guardio. It's a security thing on all of my devices because with all this shit going on, I want to make sure nobody can come in and get my data off my phone, off my laptop, or any of my other things that I use. So it's better than nothing, I suppose. But I'm telling you, he's going off the deep end and he's diving faster and faster and faster. But there doesn't seem to be any ground for him to hit. He just keeps... So somebody's got to figure this out. We need more people out there. We just do. And I'm not just talking about all you folks out there that are doing all your demonstrations and showing up and doing all those. I'm talking about them other ones like Schumer and all them guys. You get your ass out there and you start screaming from the rooftops. Now this, I sent a polite letter. Go fuck yourself, Schumer. Go fuck yourself. The rest of you Democrats, stand up. You're doing a good job. Naughty Nana loves you. Mwah. Be good, be safe. Please take care of you first so you can take care of somebody else. I love you, and don't forget to subscribe.